I don't know if there's too much green. Do you know what I mean? Like with I don't know. Hi guys, so I hope you're all doing really well. This video, please forgive my appearance because I was meant to like properly get dressed up, put makeup on, do my hair nicely, change out my pajamas, but I just want this video up and out ready for Monday, which I know a lot of you guys will be starting your first year of either uni, medicine, just back to school. But yeah, if you're about to start your first year of medical school, first off, massive congratulations. You're literally living your dream of like the younger version of yourself, by the way. You might be scared, you might be nervous, but definitely be proud of yourself because you worked so hard to get where you are right now. Just as a warning, this video will be part tips, part motivational talk. There will be a lot of like inspirational vibes. Okay, number one, everyone knows it, but no one actually does it. Do not compare yourself to other students. Don't compare yourself to other students, but then also don't compare yourself to other medical students. The reason I say don't compare yourself to other students is because for the first week, which is obviously freshers, you probably have a bunch of activities, events, and it might be harder for you to go to those events compared to like your other non-medicine friends. Not only just with freshers week, but even throughout the year, you might find that like your flatmates who are doing different courses are going out all the time. Sometimes it might feel like you're seeing other people live like the stereotypical university life, and then you can't because you've obviously got more work to do, more lectures and stuff. But do not compare. Do you know what, the whole idea of like the stereotypical university life, I don't really like it, to be honest, because everyone's university experience is so different. Like there literally is not one stereotypical university lifestyle to live. Like we all think it's like going out and clubbing and having loads of friends and like parties and stuff, but like that is like the minority of people. Like a lot of people don't even like clubbing. Don't stress if you can't like live up to that image. It's not like realistic, to be honest, for most people anyway. And then also don't compare yourself to other medical students. Obviously you're all very intelligent people. I don't care what anyone says, regardless of like, oh, you had an access scheme, or you know, you met criteria which meant that your offer was lowered or whatever. Like yes, you might have had little adjustments made to help you get into university, but you're still at university. You might feel a little bit of imposter syndrome at uni because you finally meet all the other people who you're kind of like on par with, if you know what I mean. So you're finally around like-minded people, and it might feel a little bit like you're out of place because you're not used to it, but you will get used to it. It'll just take a little bit of time. Might take a couple weeks, might take you your first exam, but like eventually you will feel like this is home, this is normal for you. Do not compare. Like it's so much easier said than done because I struggle with it myself, but try not to do it. I remember with my first exam that I did, I remember I did flashcards for it, and I basically struggled quite a bit because we had so much content to learn. I passed the exam, thankfully. I can't remember if I scraped a pass or not. I don't think it was a comfortable pass, but I did pass, so I was happy with that. And then I found out that some guy got like 99%, like genuinely, on the exam, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like I felt really bad. I was putting pressure on myself after finding out that someone else had done that well, because I was so used to like doing really well, if you know what I mean. Like at sixth form, I was used to like, do you know what I mean, like doing really well, like being like one of the top people, and then I wasn't. I was just like scraping a pass. So that will happen for a lot of people. Don't feel bad about it. It's totally normal. It happens to most people. Make use of your medic parents, depending on your medical school. At Newcastle, do you know what, I think most medical schools do this. Hopefully they do, because it is really helpful. You'll get a pair of medic parents. I actually got 3. I got 2 medic mums and a medic dad, and basically they're people in the year above me. So when I started, they were in year 2, and they just finished first year, so they'll be able to answer all your questions about exams, revision. It's such a handy thing, like having medic parents. I'm not even joking, I still use my medic parents to this day. Like my medic mum is going into her final year of medical school, like she's about to finish, and I still ask her questions. Definitely use them as much as you can. You'll probably use them a lot more at the start than like later on. Like I think in the first few weeks we met up with them a bunch of times, and that was nice to kind of like meet them in person, and you get to know them a lot better in person rather than just speaking online. But nowadays I just kind of chat to her on Facebook Messenger and ask her questions. So if you don't have like a medic parent system, it can be tricky to know like who to reach out to, what to ask, what to say. But what I would say with that is try and go to any of like the med school society fairs. Basically There's the normal freshers fair with like all the societies, but then there'll probably be like a medicine one, so try and go to that fair and meet people there. Hopefully if you meet someone nice who's in the year above you, year 2, year 3, you can maybe get their Instagram or get their Snapchat or something, and then hopefully if you build a little bit of a friendship, you can ask them questions too. If not, there's always friendly medical students online who are happy to answer your questions, but it's obviously best if you can meet someone who's like at your medical school because they've done the same exams, gone through the same thing as well. Okay, number 4, don't go over the top with revision resources. Basically, you will have your lecturers just bombard you with textbook recommendations. They'll be like, oh yeah, this textbook for this lecture, this, like they'll throw so many different names, so many different textbooks at you and be like, get this one, get that one. I promise you don't need any of them. Like they'll tell you you need this, they'll tell you you need that, you don't need it. You absolutely should not spend a penny on textbooks before you've stepped foot in the university. Please don't buy anything textbook wise or revision wise before you come. If you are going to buy something, only buy it when you're actually here. Like do not buy it before you get to university because you don't know if you'll need it. Like you definitely don't need to buy it. Like if you do want a textbook, go to the library. I wouldn't recommend spending any money on them. A lot of the time when they're recommending textbooks and they're saying that you need it, it's just for wider reading. It's not for actually like, this is what's going to be on your exam. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you're not missing out on core essential information. It's just like really detailed niche stuff that like 1% of people know. At Newcastle anyway, in first year, I just remember all the textbook that they recommended to us. I was like, I never even needed that. So websites like Zero to Finals or places like Teach Me Anatomy, Teach Me Physiology, PassMedicine, like places like that are all places that you want to use. I would rather use those websites than touch a textbook, to be honest. Okay, another tip, this is just a general one for all first years, but do not stress about relationships. Oh my god, you do not even know the amount of people who will stress over relationships, or oh they met this boy, or like just looking back on first year, the stuff I was stressing about was so trivial and so minor. I'm like, Christina, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. Like it was not that deep at all. Like do not stress about relationships. I promise there are bigger and better things to come than a little first year relationship, a little freshers like situationship. Like you will be fine. But then again, if you have obviously if you've got a relationship already from sixth form or from college, that's a whole different thing. I'm not really a relationship guru, so I'm not going to offer any relationship advice, but I'd say if you're going into freshers single, like you've got nothing to worry about. Okay, I've also put go out, because the older you get, the harder it is. And basically what I mean by that is in first year it's so easy to go out because everyone is inviting you out. You're constantly in group chats with people like being, oh there's a party on, we're having prees. Go out as much as you can in first year, because as you get into year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, like there's just less and less opportunities. You know, your friendships, if you can make as many friends as you can in first year, that's the ideal situation, because as the years go by, everyone's friendship groups kind of shift a little bit, or you'll make new friends, you'll just, I don't know, just things change as like the years go by. So I think you don't want to kind of start first year with a very small bubble of friends, because things can shift, and then if they get less and less and you've already got a small pool of friends, just might be a bit tricky later on. So I'd say go out as much as you can, but also, do you know what, don't stress if freshers week has gone by, the second week of uni has gone by and you've not made a lot of friends. Like that is, it's so early days. I was stressing out because in freshers I'd only made friends with like my flat and then a couple of other people. Like I hadn't made like loads and loads of friends. That is so normal. Don't worry if at the end of freshers you're kind of like, oh I don't have as many friends as everyone else. Like things look a lot better than they are on social media and Snapchat stories and on Be Real. I think people have a way of like making their lives look better than they are. So don't stress too much if you don't feel like you're not meeting up to that. Again, it's the comparison thing, like don't compare yourself to other people. When it comes to going home and being homesick, my advice is just go home whenever you want. Like I've seen stuff on TikTok about like, oh if you feel homesick, don't go home, just stay at uni, stick with it and power through. And I'm like, what sort of advice is that? You're not being held hostage. If you've got money for a train ticket, if you've got a car, if your mum's happy to like come pick you up, go home. Like I was going home like every other weekend in first year, but that's not normal. I would recommend, by the way, having a routine. Like when you get home from a lecture, don't kind of just like waddle around like scrolling through TikTok for hours, like neglect your uni work. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you can, when you get home, try and like get changed, have something to eat, and then get to work kind of straight away. For me personally, I've noticed if I sit around for too long after uni, I just lose the willpower to do anything. So I think have a bit of a routine where you come home, get changed, and you get straight to work. Or I don't know, like you do group work with like your flatmates or whatever, but like have a bit of a routine and try not to like come home and like be a vegetable. Another tip for first year medical students, don't be surprised if your mentor or like your supervisor isn't very helpful. A lot of the time your supervisor person will have a lot of students to look after, and not even just your year as well. They might even have first, second year students, maybe even third year students to look after. If they're taking a while to get back to your emails, or like you're feeling really rubbish and you can't really contact them, it's not that they're ignoring you, it's probably just they've also got a lot on their plate as well. Everyone will have different things to say about their supervisors. Some of my friends, they've literally gone through their whole uni degree without a supervisor. Like they've really had no one to like support them. But then other people are so lucky and they get like the best tutor, like they get the best person to like help them through things. So it varies massively, but don't feel bad if you're just in an unlucky situation and your supervisor isn't very good. What I would say though is don't suffer in silence, like at all. Your uni will probably be why can't I say that word? Bombarding you. Your uni will probably be bombarding you with different like emails of where you can get support and counselling and like mental health stuff. So definitely make use of them if your mental health ever takes like a dip and stuff, because that's very real at uni. I don't want to say it's inevitable because it won't happen to everyone, but it's definitely like a very real thing. Like your mental health can really like, it can be like that at uni sometimes. Speaking of mental health, I would say look after yourself and look after the people around you during exam season. If you've just done year 13, you know how intense the A-level exam season can be. Things at medical school, especially in like May, like the summer exams, it's like the Hunger Games. Like it's so stressful trying to revise for those exams and like look after yourself. If you've got assignments to submit, like it can be really overwhelming. So please like look after your mental health. Take breaks if you need to, go home if you need to. If you've got like faith that like really keeps you grounded, you're really spiritual, I don't know what it is, but whatever can like help you whatever can help you get through the tough times, please hold on to that during like exam season, because it can be a very stressful time. But yeah, do you know what? Some of my best memories are from med school. I really hope this video isn't putting anyone off, especially if you're about to start, because it can be an overwhelming time. It's highs and lows for sure. Like I'm sure you guys have written about this in your personal statement, so you'll know all about this, or you've spoken about it at interview, like work-life balance. Like you will really be put to the test now with the work-life balance. Like, but yeah, if you've got any questions at all, I know I've spoken about a lot of things, feel free to either leave a comment or DM me on Instagram if you want like a more private way to message me, and I'll definitely respond. I respond to all my DMs, it just takes me a while sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.